And look, this I found in it was a second-hand store in Tepoztlán, and over there is where they say the Quetzalcoatl was born. Yes. Quetzalcoatl is like a Christ for the Mayan Mexican culture. It's like a type of Christ, and it was a snake that became winged. And in Amatla, there's mountains, huge ones, all over the place. You actually look at them, and it kind of revives something in some type of memories in you. It's a beautiful feeling to be there. And there's a mountain where they have like a window, because it's a rock, and another one here, but there's a window there, and they call it La Ventana. And over there is where they say the Quetzalcoatl was born. The snake came through the window and came out with wings like that, you know. So it's a wonderful place. And after being in the rivers, in the waters, the cascades, the mountains, and all those memories, the Tepozteco, the pyramid, you walk up the forest for an hour and a half, and when you get there, there's an ancient pyramid, and you can see it's called the Tepozteco. After being in all that nature for 5 weeks before I wrote poetry, and I was there in the rivers and barefoot in the ground and the water and all that. But after I got in the bus, I stopped in the store and I got myself this. so it's wonderful, the contrast, you know. And since I'm from Puerto Rico, our heritage is the Taíno Indians, the Africans, and the European, the Spanish. She is the Caguana woman from the Taíno Indians in the Caribbean, in Cuba, Puerto Rico, and all that area, Dominican Republic. So the Taíno Indians were there, and they left these petroglyphs on the rocks by the rivers, and that's the only thing we have from them. And she is Mother Earth for them. Well, I put leaves and kind of life, like nature, around her. And I use a kind of metal that's called tumbaga and copper, and I'm just very inspired about the goddess. And the earrings, oh, they're the Taíno sun. You can find this engraved on the rocks by the rivers, like I told you, in Puerto Rico. We call them petroglifos. And I designed this and made them. I was raised by a Cuban nun. So the nun had just arrived to Puerto Rico when the Cuban Revolution. She got out of Cuba with an Italian nun and one from Spain and two more from Cuba. And they arrived to Puerto Rico and they starting their house there. She's an angel in my life. Estrella, yeah. I was only 6 months when my mom couldn't walk anymore because of MS. I was left with my grandmother, who was doing the best, but she was deaf. She couldn't hear me, and so I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And the nuns kept hearing that, and they knew the story about the family, because my mom was from Spain. She was very Catholic, and so they would go to church, so they know the story of the family. And they said, yes, but the baby, she doesn't stop crying, and nobody hears her because the grandmother cannot hear well. So we want to help, and they went to the priest and they said we would like to help with the baby. So I was taken there, and she raised me. She gave me so much love. She's like, her name is Estrella, and she's an estrella in my life. She never spoke to me about a punishing God or guilt or shame or good, wrong, or right. Never. Just, if you think of Jesus or Buddha or happiness or love, that's what I remember all the time. And I just love vintage and second-handed. So I found it's not easy for me to find something very small. And the scarf, I got it for my daughter, but we share everything. I was very hipster all the time, into nature look and barefoot or sandals, and wearing my babies all the time and doing organic gardening, which I love, which I still love. But lately I've been enjoying another aspect of wearing nice stockings and high heels and a very sexy, classy dress that they call here in Mexico, they call it Fresa. So lately I've been enjoying my Fresa look sometimes. Pues es un estilo muy fresa. So I got myself, like, for instance, this. Ooh, and I wear them with this. And I put on my nice dress and necklace, and I've been enjoying. That's new for me.
Was there sort of any kind of a stigma against the Fresa look?
Yes, and I freed myself from that. I mean, you know, like in the States, the saying, dumb blonde.
Yeah.
For some reason, I started creating that belief that if you spend too much time getting dressed and feeling classy and pretty and all that, you're not smart. But I was messed up. I wasn't that happy. Now I'm trying to embrace everything. I can honor other women and not criticize them, and in a way live some kind of hypocrite statement that I was holding for too long, you know, because I actually wanted to put this on, you know, I actually wanted to do it. And for some reason, I didn't allow myself doing it. And now that I have two girls, you know, and I see that they're everything. They can climb trees, they can dig on the ground, they grow up like that, but at the same time, they love putting makeup on, and they love nice dresses, and, you know, we're all princesses in a way. I'm not this, I'm not this, I want to be simple and spontaneous and magical, you know. So I've been doing yoga for years, and at the same time doing sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I've been doing all kinds of things. But suddenly I put the whole thing together, and I'm choosing loving things for my body, and I get dressed and I feel it's a miracle. It's physical life together, holding the spirit is something, how do you say, ineffable, is, you know, those two together, how your physical experience can respond like the grail, you know, to hold something so huge as the spirit, you know. So that's wonderful to suddenly be aware of that. So I'm honoring my body. I'm honoring my body because it holds my experience, my spiritual experience. Mm-hmm.